Hey everyone, I'm Airwingmarine. Welcome back to the channel and my next Escape from Tarkov video. Gonna do another update here for the game as a whole, but mostly the hideout. Some things they've changed. Some they just changed, some are about a week old. I haven't talked about them yet, and I'm gonna rehash some stuff I've done in other videos. But let's dive right into it, shall we? Okay, so they added another craft yet again to the hideout, and it's at the workbench. And this one's kind of cool. It doesn't make you money with it yet. You can't really make money doing it, but it gives you access to thermals at level 2 now. So you can craft a FLIR thermal scope with said components. Three Nixors, 2 Iridiums, a Vertex, which these are a lot cheaper than they were just a couple of days ago, so that these are actually attainable now. They're not insane, and they'll get even cheaper as time goes on. And that's your biggest cost right now, individual cost anyways. And then 2 SAS drives and a power bank. And I have to look at my calculator here. I don't quite remember exactly what the price was, but it wasn't making money. I want to say it was like 500,000 or 600,000 to make this, and they're only selling for 400. Obviously, component prices can change quickly, so you can stay on top of that if you want, but right now that doesn't make sense to make money, but it does make sense if you want to get yourself a hold of a thermal and you can't buy one, which with them being at 400,000, I think it actually is cheaper than crafting, so that'll probably be the way to go. And interestingly enough, this is tied to the next thing. It's not in the hideout yet, but it looks like there's the possibility of a new stim coming called the SJ9. It's going to be for a counter for thermals. I remember Clean asking this with Nikita, suggesting that maybe there'd be a stim to counter thermals or something like that. And it looks like Nikita listened. The guy's data mined and pulled this out of the game files, though it is not actually in the game yet. There's another theory that I heard from Nice Guy, another YouTube creator. He had mentioned that maybe it's a way to counter the easy way to kill cultists, because that's kind of how you got cultists now. You just go at them with a thermal, and they're actually pretty easy to fight with thermals versus the other means. So maybe it's something the cultists will carry. I think it could be an interesting ad. We'll see how it plays out and what the actual stats end up being once it gets into the game. They also increased the expensiveness of modules. I've got a lot of mine updated, so I can't show you. But for example, the solar module, they literally doubled everything in here. Doubled the cost of everything to build this, so it's twice as expensive. But they've made requirements like spark plugs for the generator. Like all your level 1 stuff now has certain requirements. You can't just do them with dollars. So making it a little bit harder to level up your hideout. Just kind of how the game goes, I suppose. There is also a bug right now that a lot of people are reporting with the hideout skills. I don't know if it's been fixed or not, if it's still in, if it's not, and I haven't seen it. I have not had to fight it, but people are getting their skills rolled back. They'll get a bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden their skills just reset back like, 10 points or 20 points. Some people are saying that they've been grinding for days and days and days, and they're only like level 3 or 4, which is really not good. So if you are running into that, make sure you report that in the launcher. That is super important to do. It shows BSG where the problems are at, helps them track them down. Plus, the squeaky wheel tends to get in the grease, so if a bunch of people are reporting it, I think they might pay a little bit more attention to it. Another thing with the hideout is the Bitcoin is slower now. And I only have 10 in here, but it's the curve, if you will, for producing Bitcoins in the Bitcoin farm has been slowed down by a couple hours. It's about 4 hours with one card, and when you get all the way to 50, it's almost 2 hours. It's like 1.68 or 1.8 or something like that, reduced or increased time. So it takes a little bit longer. But with the fact that Bitcoins are selling between, almost 500,000 and more some days, you're still making off better than you were before. I am actually selling all of my graphics cards right now because I think ththey're overpriced at the 800K or whatever they're selling at. So I will wait till they come back down before I start buying them, or ones that I don't get found out of ones that I don't get out of raid, found in raid, if you will, because I died with them or whatnot. Now, if you haven't seen my last couple of videos, they've added a ton of stuff to the hideout. There's things, all the cloths, aramid and fleece and corduroys, you can craft all of those now. They've added some other cool things like grenade cases and the military circuit boards and the violet key cards you can craft. And they've changed a couple others. So if you haven't seen those videos, go check those out. I talk about a little bit more detail there. They've also debuffed stamina across the board. So how much stamina you use with actions is increased. They didn't decrease your stamina pool. They increased the cost, essentially, of what it takes to do certain actions. So running, jumping, all of that stuff eats more stamina. Your arm stamina gets eaten up a lot faster now. You know, it makes shooting bolt rifles downright miserable, unless you're prone. And they've changed it several times over the last couple of days, constantly tweaking it. So they might not even be done yet. We'll just kind of have to wait and see where stuff settles out at. Also, the GL40 and the MK18 are in marked room spawns. Confirmed, they're in. So you'll be seeing those in raid more often now, and something to make a little bit of money out of the marked rooms again. There's also a new Sturman task. Problem is, this thing is bugged, or it was at least as of this morning. I haven't checked a couple hours. It isn't updating. It's to kill him 25 times. This is how you get the Mark 18 now. The Mark 18 used to be just get Jaeger to level 4 and you could buy it. Now you have to complete this task to use it. That's the new 338 Lapua. But like I said, it's bugged. Oh, there's also a secret reward that nobody knows what it is yet because nobody's finished it, at least to my knowledge, that you get from Sturman. It's probably not his jacket because there's not any locked clothes in Jaeger or in Ragman to go look at, but who knows? Maybe we'll see what the the secret task is behind that. Most pain pills are getting debuffed continually. Regular pain pills take like 17 hydration now, and Vaselines are 6 out of 6s. They're going to keep tweaking on this to get it to where they want it. It seems like they don't like people overusing pain pills, but all it means now is people are using them just as much. They just bring in tons of water and stuff to drink. So make sure you're doing that with food and energy because they do take quite a big bite out of there. They also buffed the 9x39 ammos. They added penetration, up the penetration of several of the ammos, and they gave a slight recoil and ergo buff to the Yazval. Moonshine is findable in raid now. You can find it at most drink spawn locations potentially. So like just kind of like you can find vodka in raid now. They lowered the spawn rates of fuel and water filters. So you'll probably see the price of those start to come up because the supply is going to get a little bit less, and they're going to be a little bit harder to find. And then lastly, they nerfed or debuffed, however you want to look at it, CMS and Serve 12 kits. Right now, they do about 10 less than they did last wipe, pre 12.9. They heal 10 less hit points when you repair than they did before. So, and that's obviously affected by your surgery skill and stuff like that. So that kind of wraps everything up. Hope it was helpful. Well, that wraps up the video. I hope you guys liked it. If so, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe so you see when new content shows up. I stream on Twitch most weeknights, so come by and say hi there if you want to. And we have a Discord full of chilled, laid-back people who love to help out and answer questions, as well as brag about some of our awesome loot. So the link for that's down in the description too, so you can join there if you want to. Lastly, as always, thank you guys for watching the video. Your support is amazing and helps out in more ways than you guys can imagine. So with that, we'll wrap it up, and we'll see you in Tarkov.